You can brainwash yourself into success in the same way that you've been brainwashing yourself to keep yourself stuck, and it is easier than you actually think. I used to have my mind filled with doubt, scarcity, the worst possible case scenarios, and my reality matched that perfectly. I started taking control of what I let in, and 90 days later, I was literally sitting in my dream apartment here in Los Angeles, California. Fast forward from then, I've made over $500,000 online, over $200,000 selling digital products. And I sell those digital products on Instagram and TikTok. And so today, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I did so that you can stop letting your environment program you and program yourself on purpose instead. For success, of course. The very first thing I want to bring to your attention is why what loops in your mind, either consciously or unconsciously, matters the most. You see, your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what is real or what is fake. And whatever you're constantly thinking, whatever you're constantly reacting to is what is going to take as real. It doesn't matter whether it's possible, whether it's, not possible, whether it's positive or negative, and it doesn't matter whether or not you want that thing. If that is exactly what you're filling your mind with, that is what you will have, that is what you will be, that is what you will constantly create in your life. But here's what was happening to me before I actually consciously took control over my mind and what I was letting in, right? So between the age of like 0 and 7, 0, 8, some people say up till 9, your subconscious mind is fully open. So whatever your parents are saying, your family members are saying, maybe your parents' friends, the news, the music, the movies you're watching, they're all programming you. And most likely they're programming you of scarcity, they're programming you to expect heartbreak, they're programming you to believe that you have to work really, really hard, or they're programming you to believe that money is scarce, right? It's a scarce resource. Now, I grew up thinking like I was less than, I grew up thinking like I couldn't achieve my goals. I grew up thinking I had to be 45 years old to ever make money. I grew up thinking like, I had to work really, really hard. I grew up thinking that this life wouldn't be easy. I grew up thinking a whole bunch of limiting beliefs about myself, about my beauty, just so many different things. And all of that was like lies. They were not true. They were not congruent to who I truly was, because the truth is, you watching this, you have greatness inside of you. You have greatness inside of your mind. You have a skill, you have talent, you have things that can make you money, that can make you live a life of freedom, that can make you genuinely feel fulfillment in each and every day. But the thing is, you don't know that, or you don't think you're superior enough, or you think that you have to stay hoping and having faith, and it's this thing that's going to happen eventually, but you don't have it now. Until you believe you have it now, until you believe that you are the person that you want to be today, it'll never come, right? And so that's what happened to me. I was just living each and every day with a hope and a dream, but never actually living that dream. Now, here's the wake-up call that I got that changed everything for me. I realized that I wasn't programming my mind with the reality I wanted. My mind was being programmed for me. By the videos I watch, by my social media feed, by my music, by my friends, by my family members, by past memories, by past experiences, and none of it was creating the life that I wanted. So here's how you're gonna brainwash yourself to actually live the life that you want. This is what I did. Brainwashing yourself isn't being delusional until it becomes a reality. No, it is actually feeding your mind new beliefs, new assumptions, new thoughts until it becomes the dominant belief in your mind. Because I always give this example, right? Let's say you believe in scarcity, you never have enough. Now you want to be in overflow and have a successful business or a thriving lifestyle, be able to be free. Until this belief, this new belief is like a tree, right? This belief is tall, has been with you for like 17 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever. And this new belief, you're planting it, you're watering it. It's not until this belief becomes a little taller than this one that this comes crumbling down forever. Right now, you have the old programming here, and you feed this one here and there, but you never keep consistent enough for it to actually grow and blossom into something beautiful. So it is important for you to now understand what are the new beliefs that you need to create. What is the new way of talking that you need to talk to yourself every day? How can you step into a version of you that feels the feelings you would feel if you were living your dream life now? How could you feel loved? How could you feel free? How could you feel abundant in money, in love, in laughter, in success? So, as much as I like filming where I was filming, I am not a fan of the heat, and to be quite honest with you, it's hot as So, I'm gonna move and try to finish filming this video here in the shade, because it is ungodly hot, and I'm getting an insane tan on my face for no reason, and I am starting to feel a little heat exhausted, so let me continue the video here. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 steps that you can use to brainwash yourself into whatever it is that you want. Abundance, success, successful business, new reality, new version of you, you name it. So I want you to view this as your IV drip. This is the first step. Whatever you're listening to, if you're comparing yourself, you're going on social media, you're seeing people living the life you want, and you're comparing yourself and feeling less than, that's what you're injecting into your IV drip. Right? If you're listening to music that makes you feel less than, that's what you're injecting. If you're listening to music that always makes you feel sad and mopey, that's what you're injecting into your IV drip. The second thing is cut the closest contradictions to your goal. If you want to be someone who has an abundance of money, stop hanging out with your friends who talk about scarcity and never having enough and complain 24/7. Right? Or tell them, hey, I don't want to complain like this anymore. I'm choosing a new reality. Mute the friends that make you feel small. If you go on social media and people are making you feel small, mute them, unfollow them, block them, whatever you need to do, right? I'm not suggesting you block people, maybe don't do that, but mute them. You don't need to see their stuff. Don't allow others to make you feel small. Leave conversations that constantly reaffirm the version of you that you no longer want to live alone. There's a bee. All right, me and my dog are gonna continue the video here, even though I'm partially in the sun. The third step is to pick a statement that feels good, and you'll know it feels good because it feels natural. I'm not saying I'm abundant, I am a millionaire, when you don't feel like that. No, maybe it could be like something like I'm whole and complete, I'm safe and secure, right? Infinite intelligences, money and abundance flows to and through me, all around me. See, I had a natural exhale saying that. That means that's something beautiful that you can consistently tell yourself, and say it like your life depends on it. Not like a freaking robot. I'm not telling you to robotically affirm, no. But anytime that doubt or anything else tries to come in your mind, say that. Or if you find yourself just wondering, not doing anything, take a deep breath and say that, because that is an opportunity to program your mind, and like I said, water that new tree so that tree can become your dominant tree, right? If you do this properly, you'll start feeling the shifts and seeing those shifts within just 2 weeks. Now, brainwashing yourself like this is not just for a weekend. Brainwashing yourself like this needs to be an everyday thing. And I want you to understand this. What you let in the first hour of your day controls the rest of the 23 hours of your day. So whatever you put in your mind first thing is going to control and dictate the rest of your day. So if you can choose an empowering thought, today is a great day. I'm so abundant. I'm working on my business. I'm taking right action all day. You'll be amazed at what happens, okay? That is you stepping into a new version of yourself. When I did that, my decisions started coming from a different place. I stopped flinching at money. I stopped apologizing for taking up space. I started going after it, and my life changed as a result. I started working with clients who value me, who respect me, who pay me top prices. I started getting an abundance of clientele as well. I started feeling more confident about myself and the work that I give to others, because how you feel about yourself is really how your clients are going to feel about you, you see, right? Everything just started to change. Right? I'm talking back-to-back clientele. I think I signed like 4 or 5 clients within a week for my social media marketing services. This was like my first week after taking a quantum leap and moving to LA with only $1,200, and like I just completely changed my life. I've had clients who have spent over $20,000 with me. And again, how does this happen? It happens by changing who you are inside. It happens by changing your inner identity. It happens by these daily practices that we are going over, by not being a victim and a programmed being from your environment and upbringing, but rather you programming and being someone who you truly want to be, you see. And sometimes you just need guidance to bring this apart, right? I've always been someone to invest in myself, invest in the right mentors, the right coaches, so that I can have assistance in bringing me to my goal, right? So most people stay stuck because they just pick one affirmation, or not pick one affirmation. They say a bunch of affirmations that they find on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and they just listen to subliminals and sleep tapes, and they're like, will that change my life? It's like, I mean, if you have to ask that question and it's been months and that's all you're doing and nothing has changed, that is significant enough for you to truly say you are where you want to be, then clearly there's something else at stake. Clearly there's something else that needs to be done. What becomes possible when your mind finally starts working for you rather than against you is you find that working on your business, taking the action you need to take on, is on autopilot. You no longer have to force yourself. You're excited to work on your business. You're excited to work with clientele. You're excited to do the things that you know you need to do. Opportunities kind of run in. I remember I moved into this building and one of my neighbors became one of my clients, and I made them I think $25,000 profit within our first month of working together. And I took that case study and I sent it to other businesses, and I closed other clients as a result. And like, one thing builds and builds and builds and builds upon each other, but you have to position yourself in order to receive those opportunities. If I never took the leap of faith to move to Los Angeles, and I never developed and sharpened my skill and invested in myself, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I'm telling you right now, if you take everything I just said and you run it, the woman you become in the next 60, 90 days will shock you. You will not recognize the version of you who's watching this video right now. And like, I promise you, because like every time I post a video like this, there's like 5, 10, 15 people who I just crack their reality right open. And I want every single one of you to crack your reality right open. Realize that the change is possible for you. Believe it. Know it. That's it. That's how your life changes. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.